Alright, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Spendthrift Podcast. And this week has been relatively rough. So this is going to be a quicker episode, more in the range of probably 15 minutes or less, rather than the new format of episodes lasting like 25 minutes. So, start off, Bitcoin Gold split is here. The split has officially happened, and despite previous rumors, seems like this split, either a day or two ago, is actually the official split. But the futures market for Bitcoin Gold is garbage. It's in the dumps. And see for yourself, just go to hit BTC and look at their future market, make you account, and see how terrible Bitcoin Gold is performing on the futures. The official Bitcoin Gold is accessible later, like in a week or two, I think. Bitcoin Gold, it's will probably stay in the dumps even when people are trading it actively rather than just futures. Next up, Max Keiser expects Bitcoin price to reach 10,000 when 7K is broke. Fair enough, because the rate of Bitcoin has been going exponential. It's been picking up steam faster and faster every time it's in these milestones. But it's really no telling when it will hit 10K. Because to get to 7K, it might be a month or two. If it's going at the same rate, less of, this crazy growth keeps going. But so far, crypto's kind of looking up for, the unlimited growth kind of thing going on. But we'll see. Any one country can reduce the price of Bitcoin in the short term by legislating some terrible laws or just outright banning something in crypto. Well, like I said, in 6 months it'll probably be 10K. Honestly, it's probably gonna be less than 6 months that takes Bitcoin to get 10K, but we'll see. Excuse me. Next up, LocalEthereum. It's doing well. I'm sure everyone knows about local Bitcoin and local Monero. LocalEthereum is basically the same thing, and apparently is doing pretty well, which is real good. But the only concern I have is, will it have the same fate as local Bitcoin, to where these big sellers end up getting jailed for money laundering or being a money transmitter or whatever the law is. It's always a risk being a big person on these platforms, but it's still good that it's growing and people are utilizing it. Tezos is officially under investigation. As I mentioned last time, Tezos had a little dispute with the founders, like the 3 founders, the couple and another one. And this has led them to be investigated. Not surprising. They're dealing with a lot of money. This actually has probably one of the ICOs with the most investor backlash for kind of the drama that has occurred. Usually the investors are kind of quiet, but I guess because the tokens haven't released and they can't trade them, they're throwing up a bigger fit than usual. That's actually probably the real reason why people got in the biggest huff, because they don't have the tokens and they can't trade it away, so they can't make anything. And next article is how Bitcoin's maturing. This is good and inevitable, but this liquidity increase and volatility decrease really means you should probably be focusing on Bitcoin for your main part of any kind of portfolio. This isn't really advice. It's just kind of my thoughts on this. That if Bitcoin's losing volatility, it makes it seem like a pretty good majority share in the crypto market, because altcoins are very unstable, and even Ethereum is pretty unstable in its gains. But Bitcoin's always up in the long run, and sometimes in the short run too. So Bitcoin just seems all around safer to hold most things in while you explore the riskier options or the sick gains. And a programmer is getting 16 months in jail for being associated with a money laundering scam because he worked for an exchange, and they basically say he was helping out hackers launder money. It's kind of surprising he only got 16 months, but hey, people's gotten worse for this. That's why it's so surprising. It's not surprising that this happened though, because there's really been instances of people behind exchanges kind of behaving badly, and it should always be on the lookout for an exchange acting up. Next up is Saudi Arabia regulators. They are not looking to regulate Bitcoin, apparently, which is very odd when you think about the fact that recently a lot of people in that general area of the world have been really going against Bitcoin and saying it's either going to implode or it's valueless or it's full of fraudsters or whatever. So the fact that this has come out, it's kind of weird to me, but it might just be short-lived that they're not looking to regulate it. But we'll see. Regulation will come to every country eventually. It's just not a question of if, it's a question of when and how intense the regulation will be. And then Canada Court is holding an ICO organizer in contempt. You can't say that justice doesn't find its way, because I expect more people related to various ICOs to find themselves in legal trouble one way or another, because most of these ICOs are just useless, shady, money grabs, cash grabs, whatever. There's plenty of people who don't actually care that they are cash grabs because they are too busy profiting from instant dumps to care about longevity of the industry, which is kind of depressing. And then Intel is partnering up with Ledger, the maker of all those little wallets, hardware wallets. No, I don't think it's one of the more popular wallets, but it's definitely a pretty big hardware wallet maker. They're partnering with Intel and bringing more security to the table and advancing software. Not much to be said about that. Vladimir Putin is throwing down some rules for crypto, which is one of the first to officially kind of make a stance for crypto and make some legislative moves on crypto. And DEA is reporting that Bitcoin is being used in money laundering for criminal organizations. I'm just waiting for the shift in Monero, because Monero is 100% the better thing for these type of people, because Bitcoin will be tracked way too easy, and eventually it will bite them as we go on, and as people realize more and more that everything they do is scrutinized by the greater community of the internet, and you have to be on your toes nowadays more than ever. But that's neither here or there, because the next piece of news is that fraudsters are posting fake Poloniex apps. You really need to be careful with actually everything, because there's fake Google AdWords links. There's this fake apps. There's a lot of fake things in crypto, so you need to do due diligence to make sure you aren't phished and that you retain information of all your social media or whatever. And then most ICOs, 90%, lack case uses after months after their Crowdsales. So, like I said, most ICOs are garbage, 99% of them, and in this case, most of them are proven to be garbage because they don't actually need an ICO. It's all a money grab. The token was just a vehicle to raise money and not an actual way to utilize, which is why so many people are going to get screwed over by these regulations if they come in, and there's not someone trying to prevent people from serving who knows how long because they did whatever. But yeah, ICOs useless most of the time. That's why most of them don't have a use for the token, because it's cash grab, simple as that. And then finally, City of Tokyo is hosting some blockchain accelerators. Japan's really embracing blockchain technology, but don't think means Japan's fully endorsing Bitcoin, because anything could still happen with Japan and Bitcoin. Or they could pull a Russia and try to make their own. Who knows? I don't think so, but that's that. And sorry for this garbage news. I'm kind of sick. Yeah, I'm kind of sick, and I'm doing it later than I should have. So two bad combinations. But see you on Monday. I'll be rested and rejuvenated after this busy weekend I'll be having, and I'll be ready to give you a better, less sick discussion and actually get into discussing everything, because I had to kind of cut it short because sickness and time. But next Monday, look out for another episode that goes a bit more in depth and lasts for about 25 minutes. So see you then.